BRB Blazer.
You got arrested?
It was an
bro,
old
bounce
college.
back story.
It was an old college
Redemption.
thing.
Jonnu Smith.
Okay, speaking of our guy, we're talking about Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith. This is Anthony's boy.
Yeah, just looking at, I mean, there's a couple things. Looking at the efficiency metrics, I talked about it on the last tight end episode, how he was just, as far as like contested catch rate, I think he was number one in fantasy. I'll pull it up just to make sure, but fantasy points per target. So what that means is when you're targeted, the amount of fantasy, number 3 in fantasy points per target. So 2.33 every time he was targeted. So now this is a guy we talked about he was graded as elite running back based off of athletic ability. I mean, if he sees 70, 80 targets and he's going to rank in the top 5 in fantasy points per target, he's going to outdo his ADP by far. I see the potential of being the number 2 in this team.
Yeah,
as far as it goes. I mean, we all think A.J. Brown's going to be the one. And, you look at Tannehill, like I said, he's someone who I think is going to throw for 3,700 to 4,000 yards, even if he throws for 35. I give A.J. Green his share of the pie, and it's, Tajay Sharp's out of there. We know the running backs aren't catching the balls for the most part. I mean, we'll see what if they take Derrick Henry off the field, but he only commands a small target share for the most part. And no Delaney Walker there this year. I mean, he's someone I kind of think that he's almost pegged for north of 60 targets. I think 60 is probably his floor.
Yeah.
Now, where the upside is, it's kind of almost Hayden Hurst-like target level. If he does take over the number 2, 80, 90 targets. Like I said, the efficiency with contested catch rates. And you're getting this guy even later than all the guys we talk about. He's going as the tight end 17 right now. So someone you could take with that last pick and could end up being a weekly tight end for you.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I like about him right here is, like, I touched on Tannehill being so accurate in terms of completion percentage all over the field. And it's like, I mean, you do a play action, the linebackers bite, and he just comes over the top and you just loft it right over the middle. I mean, like I said, Tannehill was, top 3 in terms of like completion percentage, red zone percentage, play action percentage. So yeah, I like it. And I can't really think of all the stats exactly, but I was looking at some tight end numbers before we got on air, and there was a lot of stats that it was surprising to see Jonnu Smith like up there, like top 5. And I was like, okay, like damn, like this guy's like, he's getting it done. Like it kind of like sneakily, like, like silently, like he's putting up some crazy good numbers, but like you're not really hearing about it because it was like the Derrick Henry show.
Yeah, and there's some of those numbers I could tell you right now is the catch rate, 77.8%, true catch rate of 89.7, top 7 still. Yards per target, 9.8, so it means Tandem's thrown into like a pretty high yards per target. Yeah. Yards per reception, 12.5, that's what you like to see. The contested catch, it was only 7 targets, but you still had an 85.7 contested catch rate. So number 2 in target separation of all tight ends as well too. So there's just a lot of like
2.5.
2.41, or so yeah, basically 2.5. So there's just a lot of like things you see where it's okay. I like to see this versus trying to project a tight end and you just see ugly statistics. Like there's a lot of a positive shown there. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if he's the number 2 in this team. We know A.J. Brown's going to be the 1, but could he outdo Corey Davis? I think so. Like I said, we know the running backs don't catch the ball. Let's just say Tennessee's defense isn't that good this year. Let's just say they are trailing in more games than they were last year, and they're not able to just run it 25 times a game, and Tannehill has to throw 550 times. There's definitely some built-in top 8 upside.
Yeah, no, you said almost everything I was going to because that's your boy. No, I'm big on the yards, the yak or yards per reception, especially for tight ends. I look for like that 11, 12. He's, like you said, 12.5. And I like the cushion. You said 2.4. I mean, he's I in my head, I was looking at his film the other day. I have him for like 65 to 70 targets this year just because I think they saw the offense take that step forward and they're seeing like Corey Davis just isn't what they thought. And they're seeing that he actually is. I mean, 44 targets, 35 catches. I mean, that's pretty efficient. 440 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he can get to that 65, 70 target. And I can see him being also, because he's a freak athlete, so he can be someone who can stretch it for you and be one of those play action like on the goal line when everyone's crashing in on Derrick Henry and he just slips out and gets you. He can get you a couple of those. So, I mean, just his size and speed combination is crazy. So I think, yeah, he could sneak in. For sure the number 2 option, though, I think, as far as for the Titans, because it just as you can see with like Kittle, when you have like a good tight end, what it just does for your whole team. Like when you utilize him properly, you can just move him all over the place, and it's just hard for teams to defend. So I think he could be one of those players.
I mean, one thing I can say is this: when Delaney Walker was there for however many years it was, I mean, you're drafting Delaney Walker to be your number 1
100%.
tight end,
And he's
he would,
35.
he was being like a top 8 tight end. I feel like usually across the board.
For sure.
So I mean, it's kind of a similar scenario with Hayden Hurst. It's like it's the same system. You're kind of just plugging that guy in there, and obviously it's kind of like a changing of the guard. Like they feel like Jonnu Smith. It's the Jonnu Smith era in Tennessee. That's why obviously they released Delaney Walker. So yeah, I think like I said, the more we get closer, like it's crazy because like sometimes like I feel like we'll bring up certain players that maybe like it didn't catch my eye or didn't catch your eye, but then like you'll start talking about them, so then it's like okay, I'll start digging into looking at some more numbers, and it's like okay, like yeah, like this guy is like really going to be pretty good, I think. So yeah, and what's his ADP? He's got to be going like the later rounds for sure, right?
He's the 17th tight end based off of consensus.
Oh, so-
I've been looking at the ADP calculator; it's all over the place, so it's kind of hard. I'm kind of just going off of what consensus was. Then they're basically getting him as a bench tight end.
Yeah.
I've been looking at the ADP, but like you're saying, it's a little bit off. So I've been going and actually doing like little mock drafts to actually see where he's going at.
I mean if that's based off people looking off these sheets, like I'm just gonna guess people are looking, read these types of sheets. That's going to be past the 12th round for sure.
Yeah, sure,
So maybe even 14th, 15th. It'll be like one of your last few picks.
Yeah. But getting a guy who's got the top 10 upside in the 12th plus round, I mean that's
And he's like eye test. That's what the first time I saw him, which was like the beginning of last year. You just watch the game, you're like, dude, who is that guy? Like he just looks bigger than everyone, and then he gets a ball and he's faster than everyone. So it's like. It's hard for that guy not to succeed.
Mike just showed the highlight where he ran. It was like it was a big the big touchdown. And like usually when people jump on you from behind, they pull you down. They just fell off of him too.
Yeah,
they were like,
he's so
like,
big.
it didn't even slow him down. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, how did this like dudes like this? Like, how do you not get drafted sooner? It's crazy because he's a big boy, 6'6".
Yeah.
No, 6'3". I'm sorry, Waller's a bigger guy, but yeah, he's a big boy. Oh, right here, like look at that. Dude,
If you're listening to us on audio, go check out the YouTube, see what we're looking at.
Dude, sorry. Yeah. I mean, he's just out for the.
Man, that clip was informative, huh? Well, there's plenty more right here if you click that. Also, go ahead and subscribe right there.